You also use Canva? You did Reframing now?
No. Let's talk about the craft.
Yeah.
That's what people want to hear.
What's your favorite part of the craft?
I like the cheese bag that they give you.
Craft cheese.
Yeah.
I like that it has a higher burning point. Like its burn temp is higher than normal cheese. It'll bubble nicely longer, I feel. Because it's like such artificial oils.
It's made for artificial processes.
Yes.
You want to be artificial in this world, because that's what our society is designed for.
So we can actually turn off the artificial burgers. I'm just, it's your podcast, but I can hear it. Like, if I can, they can.
Yeah, you're a purist, and I appreciate that. It's just
when it gets hot as shit.
It gets a little hot in here, but no worries. We can. I just turn it on at the beginning so that we start out with a level of coolness, and then we can destroy it with our body heat and our excited conversation.
I think that's a great idea.
We have 4 low energy guys.
I'm sitting with you guys. Where were you? Do you consider yourself low energy most of the time? I think that explains that answer.
I don't know. Lately, just a pause. Lately, the way of the world is really beating me into.
Is it on your shoulders? Because I thought it's on some of my shoulders. Is it on yours too?
Well, just see enough mean comments. I'm just not gonna say anything anymore.
What is the weight of the world for you? What is going on in those shoulders?
I don't know. My fucking life kind of stinks right now. It's not that bad, but it stinks more than that.
Can you give us an example?
At my job, I was working somewhere and then they sold the restaurant. I didn't have a job for a week, so now I'm working at this really shitty place. My car got rear-ended. Just like didn't get job interviews. Same old. It's not that bad. It's just a bunch of things.
Just a bunch of fucking life happening all at once.
I didn't realize how good I had it.
You still have it incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There are people all over the world dying right now.
Yeah.
Well, that shouldn't be the baseline.
This is true.
Should be like, we can do a little better than not dying.
Right.
Yeah.
And Paul's barely hanging on.
Yeah. Every day. It's like Office Space, that quote. Like, every day is a little worse than the day before. I mean, every day is the worst day.
That's fucked up.
Well, don't you think that's capitalism and alienation from your labor?
I think it's mostly, I'm going to take about 90% of the blame. It's mostly,
Never trying to improve the
quality
of life.
Do something for 3 months.
Well, what do you think?
I was going to bring beers, but I didn't. Do we have any?
I don't know. But like, what are you doing that's so bad? Like, like you didn't decide to have your car run into. You didn't decide to sell the restaurant. So what you're saying, you're taking most of the blame.
Well, I think I would be able to take these punches a little easier if I had any like foresight or, you know what I mean, like.
So does that mean you were just kind of riding out life and not really looking ahead?
Yeah. I'd say so.
So if you had all the power in the world, what would you be doing right now?
All the power in the world?
All of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably Twitch streaming, dude. No, I don't know.
Wow.
What?
You don't know?
You're putting the weight
You know what
on
I would do?
What would you do?
I would do comedy and like travel with my friends. I'd have friends. And
do you feel like you don't have friends? Let's start there. This takes unpacking. Do you feel like you don't have friends?
I want to be your friend.
No, not really.
I wasn't prepared for this type of reflection today.
Yeah,
I think if anyone here needs it,
what
though.
are you gonna do? We're low energy. We gotta compensate for intellectual
All right, that's
rigor.
fair.
How many friends do you feel like you have? Like true friends, and what does that mean? You have 7? You actually know them? Like you know the list?
The list of comedians that are my friends?
No, the list of friends. We're just going full friends. You said 7.
What?
And what does that mean? What is a friend? How does a friend make the list of 7?
Well, the thing is, like, friendship is hard to define.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like a lot of people and I like hanging with them, but that doesn't mean like I'm their friends. But what do you think about life? Do you think, like, what would you be doing if you could be having all the power in the world? What would you do?
I'm kind of with you. Like, stand up's the goal. Like, I look at it like if I could raise my kid and be there for her while also performing stand up and entertaining people, and that provided just enough security to maintain and have a safe life with her. That's it, dude. Anything over that's gravy. Like, but that sounds perfect.
To do comedy, I think I'd also like whatever small way. Like, I want to do something to, you know, it's all about each other. And it doesn't have to be comedy. But I think it's good to...
But you would be doing comedy still.
Yeah, you did say the first thing you said was you would be doing comedy.
Right, that's the way it comes out for me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Do you think comedy does help people?
Yeah.
Do you think it makes the world a better place by laughing at all the things and holding the mirror up to them?
Yeah, I mean, it adds like a little 1% boost of happiness. It's not going to do a lot, but...
Which is why people should go to more shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hans will be in San Diego on, I forgot the dates. I just thought it'd be a perfect time to plug your dates. Be happier, improve your life by seeing Hans Kim in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's more different than, you know, watching a great movie or live music or just doing a fun activity, you know. It's something to do that hopefully makes you laugh and brings joy, you know. A lot of people sometimes get offended too, but that's not the intention.
And I think that's a little healthy. I think a little, like being offended a little bit's healthy for you.
Yeah.
You should be pushed. You should question your own, that made me feel. I didn't control that feel. That made me feel, or I reacted to it. Am I okay with how I reacted to it?
Yeah.
Stand-up is the one thing that if I'm like really in the dumps, that always like immediately, like a Todd Barry album or a Dave Attell album.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's funny how like I think like, oh, this isn't gonna work again, and it like always does.
Or Norm videos.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like more like listening to podcasts kind of drains time away, but like stand up, it like gets way more chemicals flowing in the brain for me. Like, dude, when I listen to Skanks for the Memories, it's just like, or I get to show someone that album for the first time or something like that, it just like really makes me happy no matter what.
Yeah. It is what happiness is. It's the physical manifestation of happiness.
Because when it's good, even if you're in a really bad mood and you're fighting against it, like you don't need to buy in that much to like, because it's like a visceral reaction.
A couple good laughs really
Yeah.
make a pretty strong change.
Yeah, you're like totally changed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible to laugh and be sad at the same time, to like be actually laughing.
But what's weird about that is when you have super sad moments, you will laugh through tears. Like, I remember like my whole family sat around the day my dad died, and we were literally crying and then laughing and crying and laughing.
That is so true. That happened to me when my grandma died. I started laughing uncontrollably. I can say that word.
Uncontrollably.
Well, no, yeah, because your body's so sad. It's like, okay, now I gotta balance it out, and because it's not, it is sad, but it's not sad, but then it's sad, or is it always sad?
So,
yeah, I think it's your body trying to find its physical balance. It's like, oh, I just felt like so sad for a minute. Let me just try to temper it so that this guy doesn't just have like a stroke.
Right. Because I mean, a good laugh like that, I mean, releases dopamine and other things. Like, it's good for your brain and stuff. But I also think it's your brain's way of being like, I'm in this, like, this horrible place, and it kind of makes light of like
that you're not in danger.
Yeah, like you're not, and also like, and
sad,
also this whole thing is stupid. Like your grandma died, your dad died. Like, yeah, you're gonna die. Like just like that reminder of like you're gonna die, and none of this really matters. But but like you still feel all the feels, and so maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a way to like.
Yeah, sometimes I'm a little worried about getting too excited about something, because I'm like, if I get too excited, does that mean Like the higher is gonna be very high, and then the low is gonna be even lower. So
yeah, can the high be as high if the low's not as low?
yeah, I've been trying to pay attention to like stoicism and reading like Marcus Aurelius. I think that helps in like keeping things in balance. But yeah, you guys, you kind of look like
only what you can
Marcus
control.
Aurelius.
I've read a few books. Yeah, the Stoicism. I like. I mean, every time I hear Stoicism quotes and stuff like that, it makes me think that, like, yeah, okay, all of this makes sense, while also it doesn't always feel practical. Yet I think that's like the direction we should be. I mean, want to strive towards, but
it'll definitely make you in a better state of mind. But will it also produce results in the real world? Because you could just be happy and content all you want, but then if your life falls apart, then it's not a good thing to be that way then.
And is your stoicism sort of hurting the people around you?
Yeah, where you're like, that's okay, child. Sometimes in life your dog dies. Get over it.
Yeah.
Because if you're always stoical, then it's like, what is the point of life? You can't enjoy it. You can't just like,
right.
So sad.
Well, you're content, so it's a happy medium.
But is content a goal?
Yeah, you're never gonna get too sad, but you're never gonna get too happy either. It's like living your life without coming. But it is good to do. Is if you're too emotional, then you need some stoicism. But if you're like too rigid, then you need to like live life a little.
Yeah, that summed it up. I like that.
That is good.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know, I hear something.
It's a jet flying over.
That's so loud. People can pinpoint our location from that.
Oh yeah, they did that to Shia LaBeouf when he did the flag.
Yeah,
that's
he
fun.
will not replace us.
Yeah.
What do you think about Trump going to jail?
Is he going to jail?
I don't know. I thought he's back out. They like processed him and then released him. Right?
He flew back?
I thought so. I thought I saw something where he gave a speech like this morning.
I just like that they can make him do things. Like, come here, go there.
Well, they can make anybody do things.
Yes.
That's what they can do.
Yes.
I mean, if he's out and he's gonna be running for the presidency, he's gonna win for sure. Because every time
think so?
Political whatever person goes to jail and they get out, that seems to help them.
Well, how much can it help?
I don't know, but
I don't know. I mean, people loved him before this.
My dad's a big Trump.
I loved him.
Big Trump guy.
Yeah.
At times.
He has been since like day one, which is like funny because it's like everyone told him he was a fucking idiot.
But you can't just not arrest him because it's gonna help him. Like if you have to arrest him, you should arrest him. But I think it's just.
But are they arresting him because they think it's gonna hurt him? Which I think is like the points he's making. It's like this is all happening because you're trying to hurt me, not because of what their case. But then again, that's the exact thing you should say if there is a case. So
yeah, I think it's just he pissed off the people that are in charge of that, and they're gonna do whatever they can to fuck with him.
Yeah, I mean I look at him like, well, clearly the charade of politics and news is working exactly as planned to create the most engaging content to keep the actual problems from getting solved.
Yeah, it's definitely not really important. But, I mean, if we're not going to be doing anything important anyways, we might as well make the orange man fly.
I don't even understand. Like, is it engaging content? Like, I guess I'm an outlier.
A lot of people are engaged. A lot of them.
I'm like an outlier, but anytime I have no fucking idea what he's going to jail for, anything. But I go on YouTube every day and I search UFC MMA news and I watch like an 8-minute daily put together. Like that's way more engaging to me.
Politics are stupid. Always have some other bullshit they're into.
Yeah.
It's not like any hobby is better than any other.
But the UFC thing, I don't know, it's like fun to me to like be into it, to know whatever. But it's like, what do you get? My dad just sits in front of the TV. You know what I mean?
If you're going to get cheap like political or like gossip, you might as well pick the one that hits your brain the hardest.
I guess like property owners and people who are with it, I guess it affects them.
I mean, it affects you. It affects everyone that lives here.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think our younger generations are realizing like it really doesn't matter who's there because nothing's like, everything seems to be going bad anyways.
Yeah.
And everyone's gotten turns. And everyone complains about the other one. And I don't know. It's just weird to me when like you look up and you're like, okay, so the people that are our options, like they both like our country feels like it's like on the verge of burning. But for some reason, both of them have matches in their hands. They're like, vote for one of us. I'm like, why do you both have matches though?
They're bored. Everyone's bored. They'd rather have a revolution than be bored. It's like if you make life boring enough, then people want any sort of excitement. So they're like, fuck it, let's blow it all up and see what happens.
Do you think that's like the mentality of like the average American?
Yeah,
like on the subconscious?
Death wish. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem very stable. But yeah, I mean, I would love to be in a zombie apocalypse and fucking swing axes rather than like, you know, show up for overtime and like slice onions.
I think that's because everyone like they watch shows and they think they're the one that's gonna make it. But in pretty much every one of those shows, like the majority of people don't.
But they don't get the majority of the screen time. The actor,
exactly,
lead actor does.
Yeah, when they're running through the city where there's zombies running out of houses covered in blood, everyone in the whole neighborhood died except for the guy you're following with the camera.
Yeah,
like,
he's the 1%.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the 1% physically than financially because that seems out of reach for me. Maybe.
What do you mean?
And physically
Like,
just comes down to willpower.
The billionaires.
Yeah.
Like the chances that I'll be the billionaire versus the chances I'll survive a zombie apocalypse. At least with that, I can use my muscles and do something about it. It's very Newtonian physics. It's like push A to make it go higher. But now this world is just like, you know, Einstein's physics, whatever, theory of relativity. It's like, oh, this guy makes this 1,000,000 times more than you. It's like, it's hard to navigate it with their monkey brains.
You mean you'd rather be of the 1% of survivors?
You got to be a survivor than a billionaire.
I'd rather be successful, and physical survival seems more feasible.
In the zombie apocalypse scenario.
Yeah.
So you think your muscles can accomplish more
I think
than
muscles
being a billionaire?
Directed in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, what's your personal plan for growing these muscles? Are you
I
doing
have a
anything?
van.
Eating the poor.
I have a gun. How many muscles do you need? You don't want too big a muscle. You don't want to be John Cena in an apocalypse just eating 5,000
but
calories.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm apocalypse
Like you're lean,
ready.
but like, are you working out? Are you doing things to increase your?
I started doing more kettlebell swings. Yeah, I'm gonna work out. I need to work out.
Because that apocalypse is coming. Making adjustments on the fly, producing as he goes.
I really need to not do that, but it annoys me because, like you, I'm a purist.
Yeah, gotta fix it. That's why I have my board right next to me because I'm like
That's a good
little
idea.
bit.
That's a great idea.
Now we're moving.
So, what do you think about the Dolphins?
The Miami Dolphins?
Or the porpoises. Which one?
Ray Finkel?
Laces out.
What are you thinking about now? You're just like worried about success and like
I'm just taking it
the
all
meaning of
in,
life.
dude. I'm just simply an observer.
An observer, a quiet observer of life.
Yeah.
What do you think about polyamory?
Polyamory. I don't know.
You're just saying that because you're in a relationship right now?
I mean, it seems like every couple that calls himself polyamorous is like, we didn't want to break up, so we're trying this, but we're just going to
You
break up.
got to do it out
anyway.
of strength, not weakness.
Yeah, I like the idea, but I do think you need a lot of emotional strength, especially when, you know, if
Someone's fucking your girlfriend.
exactly you get like emotionally attached, and then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I can fuck others too, but I'm not really getting, you know, she's getting more dick.
It's a little easier for one,
than
you know.
getting.
It seems
One
like the
side
closer you get, so like from far out on Instagram, when there's a polyamorous couple, they post a lot of pictures. They're like hiking all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you get more friends with them and closer with them, the cracks really start to show.
Well, I think it's good to have one person as a foundation, but I just don't ever see monogamous couples really that happy either further into it. It always seems like a little weird, like someone's trapped. Someone can get out, but is trapped by guilt.
You're trapped no matter what. So it's like you
Is
just
trapped
pick where
the
to
word?
Be, where to be trapped.
Yes.
Because if you're
For some couples and some relationships.
Yeah. But if you're trapped, I mean, that's the thing is that if you get to the point where you're like, fuck, I'm trapped, like then that's the point you should have the balls to get out.
Obviously, easier said
Than done, for sure.
Especially if you have children or like a life.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that like when it comes with kids though,
or a lease or something. If you're splitting rent,
if it's just the money, get the fuck out. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, I'm speaking from 2 divorces. Like if you're miserable, take notice and make the change. And if there's kids involved and they're watching you be miserable, that's my personal philosophy. If they're watching you be miserable or they're watching the negativity that happens between the two, they will be better off in my mind in 2 loving homes without all that chaos than one with 2 unhappy people putting on a show for them, which they see everything behind the scenes, so it doesn't matter.
right? And also that's assuming one of the person in the breakup is not gonna become even
But do
worse
you think
or more toxic or
Yeah.
you think monogamous people are happier overall than polyamorous people, or do you think
yes,
people
absolutely.
are miserable overall?
I don't know.
I mean, this is textbook. Like, there's certain types of advice that I'm like, since you're all saying this, I know that the other thing is true because I hang out with my friends and I like all my. They're fucking miserable. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
polyamorous ones?
well, like that generally what would go along with that, like a barista who has purple hair and a tattoo.
Those people.
You know, it's
So who
Those
will you
people.
listen to? Like jocks and Instagram models?
I guess I don't interact with jocks on Instagram models. But I don't know. I guess I can only speak from my own experience. But it's like, how if you have time to invest in more than one person on a real level, then you need to find something to pursue because it's
You're not doing enough.
unless
Why
you
is
just want
one
to
the
live,
right number?
live in a community. I don't know. I guess it just works for me.
I
so.
think that there's a vested interest in agrarian societies to have monogamous couples. For like if you're having peasants and you're like a lord, like for some reason monogamy is a way to go.
It's a better control.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Control.
And I think like a lot of our shit is our infrastructure is designed for that kind of relationship.
Well, I guess for me, I not only do I come up short in my relationship with like trying to put everything into it, you know what I mean? And that's just one person, so is that. And then even if it was just random hooking up outside of it, I just am not super interested in it. So it's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But are you happy just fucking one person for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
I just
I mean,
don't
the
attribute-
crazy thing is that, in a relationship, monogamous, it's more than sex, right? It's like the connection you have with the other person. But if you only look at strictly on a sexual point of view, then yeah, I mean, then it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
But
Of course you want what you can't have.
And
Of course
sex
you
is
do.
pretty far down the list of motivators for me at this point in my life. So it's like, that's like such an easy compromise.
But even if it isn't about sex, you only want to connect with one person. You don't want to get to know other
So there
people.
you go. Yeah. Because that's the fun part. Like, what's the best part of like, this sounds weird, but like, what's like the most fun part of a relationship a lot of times for most people, because they don't last forever, so I don't know, it'd be interesting to ask like people who've been married for 50 years, is like those first the beginning when you're falling in love, you're learning new things, it's exciting, you're like, I don't know, and then all of a sudden it settles down for a time period and now you're just living life together.
I mean, I feel like with me and my girlfriend, it's just such a perfect, just like symbiosis of everything across all categories, filling each other's blanks.
Whoa.
All the blanks.
Yeah.
Sounds
and
like she was a strap-on.
I'm shooting blanks. And I don't know. It's like, so even when it's going bad, it's like stand up. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to do anything other than this. So even when it's going really bad, I'm just going to keep showing up to this. And like you said, the best part is the beginning of a relationship. I feel like that's when you're not with the person that's like To me, the best part is every phase of every. I mean, we've been together for 2 years now.
Okay.
So it's not super long, but every phase that we go, every phase we go through, even the bad phases, like when if we fought or something happened.
The best phase is when your girlfriend is covering cum.
The glazed phase.
But that's kind of sad that you said even though it's going bad, you keep showing up. I mean, I know you should do that for maybe let's say rough
like
week,
the worst parts
a
of that
rough
are
week. But if it's going for that like over a month, I would say maybe just get out and there's probably something better out
You guys
there.
will never get rid
doesn't
of
make
me.
you sad.
It's like a bad day in Florida is a good day anywhere or whatever that stupid saying is. That's how I feel about my relationship. Is like our
you
worst
do build
days.
a deeper
It still isn't that bad.
connection.
Yeah, it's like I would rather do and
Right.
I also hate women. You know what I mean? It's like most women I meet, I'm like,
yeah, they're
I don't wanna fucking talk
socially rude.
So with Alyssa, it's just
more
like
than men to me.
yeah.
But I'm sure for women, men are more rude to them than women.
But a woman think that you want to fuck them.
Yeah, even the ones that I don't want to fuck, which is like, okay, then I'll try to express that I don't want to fuck you.
So maybe that's why they act a little differently. Different.
Because they're afraid of rape and murder.
I'm sure there's something like that in the evolutionary genes
Yeah.
going on.
Help them survive.
But then you look at other cultures and women in Europe or Latin America, and they're not so anxious and wound up.
Or
What's the data here?
Just common knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I didn't know
don't
that.
you think like American women are a little wound up tight?
woman.
I don't have a lot of experience with, I guess, like.
Well, I've been to
non-American
Europe
women.
as a child,
Mm-hmm.
and it just seems like there, if you're like caught checking out a girl, they're not like, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
Well, I've heard like friends that have gone to Italy, and they're like the men are like incredibly forward,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just
That's
just the
good.
culture.
Yeah.
But the women also don't mind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Is from what I've heard. It's like that's just the culture.
Yeah,
they
they're like
handle their
sluts.
shit. I don't know about that, but they handle it, and that's
In a
just
good
the
way.
culture is acceptable.
Well, I do think America was founded by Puritans and like religious weirdos, and I think that might have had a trickle down effect on our culture
Yeah, I'm from New England. I think some
and
of
racism.
the shame around, even though I wasn't raised Irish Catholic, I think there's like, I feel like I'm less I would never like be naked or even polyamory. I'm just like less receptive to those ideas because I just feel like in New England there's like a big Irish Catholic kind of like, don't fucking talk about that shit.
Oh yeah, just like miserable marriages and just choking it down and slapping it when you
Or you
get
just
home.
mean the shame of sex is deep.
Yeah.
It's just rooted deep, even though.
And it's not even like a shame, but it's like I'm not gonna walk down the street in a Speedo even as like a joke. I'm not bare, you know what I mean? It's just not, and it's fine that other people do it. I don't even find it that funny. I mean, maybe Chris Pontius is funny, but the amount that guys think being naked is funny, it's like maybe 1 out of every 10 times is actually funny. So I think it has something to do with growing up in New England, as opposed to if you live in California, you put a sock on your dick and play Woodstock like Red Hot Chili Peppers or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean like you're from a more cold place,
Yeah.
so your sex life is not as rich as Francisco's.
Yeah.
My sex life is not. I mean, it's okay.
But you're probably more like open and receptive to sex than Paul.
Well, I feel like in the Caribbean, people are wearing less clothes. So you go to the beach, it's I don't know, piña coladas. You're drunk and
Yeah.
things happen.
The dancing's more sexual.
live
The
music,
music, yeah.
instead of like a New England bar.
Like a fat fuck in England.
Yeah. Hey, get your ass over here.
Hey, darling, bring me my chicken wings, and that's the lady.
Yeah, as opposed to a beach and a woman wearing no
Such an
clothes.
ignorant. No, I also feel like that's none of what we're saying. Like in the cold, if you're inside, you're probably having more sex. No.
Yeah, that's a big thing, like up in like the Middle East and stuff. And I think not the Middle East, the Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah, thank you. Totally different places. But like the Midwest and stuff, where like
Both
there's a
middle.
lot of babies that are coming
Yeah.
out of wintertime because everyone's
Right.
bored.
It's
and
like
stuck
during
inside.
COVID when you were quarantining. If you had someone with you,
You weren't going to work.
You were probably fucking like rabbits. If you liked each other. And if not, that relationship is over, right? And if you were alone, you were probably on Tinder trying to get to meet
COVID
someone.
bunnies. COVID. What's the sex thing that starts with K?
Cunnilingus.
Hot Carl.
COVID, cunnilingus.
There you go.
COVID. What's the STD? Chlamydia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we're really working with gas right now.
You guys are not really.
Wait, so if you guys have been together 2 years, that means that you got together during COVID or right at the beginning?
No, it was April, like a week after I moved here. April, like 2 years ago.
During the pandemic, but
During
it was like
pandemic.
after the pandemic in
Yeah.
Texas.
That's right. Texas like opened right back up.
Yeah.
Kept rocking.
Yeah, kept.
Yeah, I showed
dying.
up and I just started dating her like a week into being here, which was.
How'd you meet her?
She followed me on Instagram because she was moving to Austin too, and then just like DM back and forth, hung out, and
Wow.
it was what it was.
So she was like, "You're in Austin." How did she know you were in Austin?
She saw me on someone's story doing because I had visited Austin a few months before and did stand up a few times here, and then yeah, something like that. I don't know, weird. I mean, that's how it goes with me. I don't really pursue very much. I just kind of like am around, and then eventually something happens.
Something sticks.
Yeah, I just fucking,
You just pose for an Instagram photo, and next thing you know, you're getting laid.
Hey, I wasn't posing. I was crushing at Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Rest in peace.
And someone took a boomerang.
Yeah, I think it was a still photo.
And she was like, that does it for me right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, really, I mean, I don't know. You just kind of have to believe. That's the part about love that fucks me is you just kind of got to believe this person loves you, even though you're like, it feels like this was a little easy. I feel like.
Yeah, it's like someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, it does
This
seem.
doesn't feel like the real thing.
Yeah, it's weird when they like you too much.
Oh, my girlfriend's like kind of obsessed with me, so like it does ease the
Like
insecurity.
what about you? Is she like your biggest fan? Does
She just
make
thinks,
fan
she
art
thinks
for
about
you?
me all the time. I mean,
I love
same
your
thing with
little
her.
podcast
What's
graphic.
that?
Did she
Oh.
make that for you?
No, I did that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've made maybe like 100 podcast graphics for.
Does she make you
once.
things?
Yeah, she's the best. She gets me stuff, makes me stuff. One time so my car often will look like, the scene in Star Wars when they go in the trash chute and there's like a creature underneath it. That's how I look when I'm driving around my car. Is like that's how.
You just have a filthy car.
Yeah, one time she woke up at like 6 a.m, cleaned it, got it inspected, got something fixed on it. It was like a birthday present for me, and I was just like, I almost cried. I was like, it's nice to see, because I just like I do bring
cleaning
something
out
to
your
the table
asshole.
in the relationship, but it's like I am definitely the textbook. Like our apartment's so nice, and I just like constantly just fucking leave things places. I'm getting better at it, but that is she's just the best. She's like always
Cleaning up after you.
kind of yeah.
I like how you were like I had
Thoughtful.
some.
She's very thoughtful. Yeah.
That's the better way to put it.
Yeah.
I had some empty water bottles in my car, and then she removed them, and then that made me cry. That was so beautiful.
Dude, you have no idea
Somewhere.
how bad my car. Hans knows.
No, I can picture it.
It's you picture it and then.
But
double
is
it.
she the one that starts usually sex or?
Yeah, I could say so. I don't know, dude. I just don't. I don't know. I just fucking. I'm kind of like if she broke up with me, I'm like retiring my jersey as far as like trying to hook up. Sex is just not a huge. You know what I mean? It's good. Like.
We were addicted to Adderall for a while.
Yeah, it really fucked my.
Did it? You think so?
No,
Oh.
I just it makes me feel like hooking up with chicks and stuff makes me feel bad, and then I don't. This is like no redeeming. I don't know. It's just kind of an objective.
Is that
thing.
the guilt coming back in? Like if I'm having sex with people, that's bad?
No, it's just like it's all just embarrassing moments, and I feel like I've done it a lot enough for what I should have done in this life, and I just I was like kind of a weird 18 to like 24. I was kind of a weird like, I was hooking up online before. Like I'd hooked up with a girl off of 4chan. I hooked up with a girl off of FetLife. I was like a weird, promiscuous fucking. I'm lucky nothing happened to me. So now just like looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Well,
You've had your fun.
Maybe it's not
No.
sex that you like, but like the people are broken sex culture, like some weirdos that you have to fuck.
I mean, if you're on FetLife, you're looking for something, right?
I just like that I felt like this girl was giving me the eyes in the Kill Tony alley the other day, and I just like the idea that's like, oh, you look.
Nothing like getting the ice by the trash chute.
Yeah, but I just feel like they like someone accepts you for one night or whatever, but then you're like, oh, that's not real or whatever. So that's sort of I guess why after like 26, 27, it was like strictly kind of serial monogamy for me because I like the more earning
Stable.
it type. Yeah, and like actually it being good, not it being this weird moment that you'll either forget about or kind of cringe at every time you think about it.
Yeah.
I tell a sex story on stage for, it's like I have no story, so I wrote one for a storytelling show a few months ago, and I think it's like gonna be in my act, and it's just it's weird to like revisit those memories and remember where you were. Like,
Well, I don't think we have a very healthy sex culture. I don't think dating is very easy, and I don't think like you should just give up on sex or dating. I think you just gotta find the right people to do it with, because I think a lot of people are traumatized and broken in our society, and then they're out there fucking, and then people that aren't traumatized or broken become traumatized and broken because they're fucking those weirdos, and then it just spreads.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. Sex is like an indicator of how healthy a society is. And why would we have a healthy society when we spend almost no money on social programs? Anyways.
But I think it's easier than ever to date nowadays because, you know, now you can just go on Instagram and throw fire.
Yeah, you
And
can't
then-
buy ads about dating.
And then you get something started, you know.
Yeah, imagine if you could buy an ad and be like, hey, I'm looking to fuck.
I saw, I don't know, it was on TikTok or something, but they were running stats, and apparently like they took a poll, and it's something like 56% of American youth under the age of like 26 aren't even looking for any type of relationship. They don't want to hook up, they don't want to get together, they don't want to get married, they don't want sex.
Yeah,
they're just doing their thing.
They got all these plastics in them,
Yeah.
and their dicks are all like weird.
I think it's
Their
good.
taints are going away.
I think it's not only random sex, but relationships. I think you just take it or leave
We're
it.
just
Like with
gonna be
kids,
like
I'm like,
fucking-
I'll take it or leave it. If I get to the end of my
We're gonna
life
be
and I
like
didn't
minions.
do it, you know what I mean? That's why and then I found Alyssa, and it was like, cool. Like I just feel like
Sex is taken care of.
my advice for mid-20s kids as far as relationships is like, you know, if something happens, it happens. But I would just take it or leave it. It's not really that big of a deal. Like, I guess with stand-up for us, not to be like corny, it's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And it, like, if other things slot in around it, that's great. But
Yeah.
since I have this thing, even if Alyssa breaks up with me and I'm sleeping in my car, I'll still have this like, yeah, I'm gonna be Steve Harvey someday. You know, it's crazy. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It does a lot for you.
It's just it's like
Yeah.
the only thing that's like,
So
I'm
you
willing to
think-
die on that.
So what you're saying is that one day you think you're gonna be black.
Maybe. I would say the only reason I would do polyamory, I think the only way to do it is to become like Chris Rock rich, and then you're kind of in a situation where you're like, look, I'm gonna have some strange on the road, but your entire family tree is taken care of now,
Yeah.
and
Everyone's
and
fine.
I still love you.
And I love you. I'll
So-
come home to you.
Yeah.
But
And I feel my girlfriend would co-sign. Like, yeah, if you're making $40 million a year, sure, you can fuck other people. Go for it. So I feel like that's where I'm at right now. It's like that whole barometer up to 40 mil, I'll be a good man. And then once I get there, I'll be like, look, what are you going to do? Let's
And
live.
you have your
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna leave?
let's live like
Trapped
a,
you,
a
bitch.
conqueror, you know?
Well, no, I think that's great that you're saying all this stuff.
I hope she doesn't listen
I know
to this.
Hans and I were talking this morning, and there is something when it comes to like comedy and relationships. It's like if you're really gonna, like, relationships take time and they take work and they take energy, and comedy takes a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of energy. And there's no way if you're trying to do both, one of them will suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny that, I mean, relationships take time, but sex doesn't take a lot of time.
But then if you're just in a relationship where the dude doesn't do comedy, like, or doesn't have any interesting hobbies or jobs, then that relationship isn't going to do well either, because then you're dating some loser who's not doing anything with his life.
Yeah. I have a feeling that most relationships where both people are, I would consider interesting because they are interested in things and doing things and fulfilling their heart and like creating in something. I bet those relationships when both people have that and have their own thing, those last longer than just, we just both like Netflix.
I
And
agree.
we have zero drive to do anything or create or express ourselves.
I think comics like convince themselves with relationships like that it's not the ideal, you know, because you have to, it's a push and pull and there's compromise.
Right.
But like I'm a victim of in my past only looking at the cons of a situation and using that to like make my decision. But when you objectively look at like me and Alyssa, for example, there might be moments where I'm not able to like be out as late, whatever it is.
Right.
But there's also like a whole list of pros that I would not have, like the support, like tons of stuff. Like I would literally not even, if I rattle off, I would sound pathetic. And
Okay,
I
you
just
like
think you know what I
Alyssa,
mean?
we get it.
I just think the cons and pros thing that people
Yeah.
do with that is like, dude, you got to look at. Also, it's like, just play the hand you're dealt or whatever. Like, why? I just know comics that have been like, I gotta break up with her, dude, because you know it's like I'm doing this comedy thing. I'm like, I'm
Yeah, I'm not getting up enough, and
you can make it work, dude. She doesn't work on Wall Street. You're fine. Like you'll find, you know. I feel
Yeah,
like you're
it's
just,
an important part of life is finding someone to connect with
and when you don't succeed in stand up as fast as you want
Stick your
to,
dick in.
you start
So
to,
ever.
you start to think like, oh, it must be because I'm in this relationship.
Right.
It's not. It's because.
well, if that's all it takes to break up with your girlfriend, then you weren't gonna be that solid with her anyway.
Well, it compounds.
Yes.
What's up?
Where is it?
What are you looking for?
A laptop?
I don't know where I put it. I think I might have put it over there somewhere.
It's not that one.
Okay.
And actually, I gotta go get ready.
Oh, okay.
But you guys keep going. But it was nice meeting you guys,
Yeah.
and
Where
I'm
you
glad
going?
you're happy.
Yeah.
I'm heading over to Mothership with Hassan. I haven't yet to be there, so he's gonna take me with him.
Cool.
Nice.
Show me around.
Cool.
Excited. All right, guys.
See you, man.
Have a good one.
Love you.
Love you.
That was James Schrader. You can catch him on the Dr. Squatch commercials. You can just go over it, can't you? Okay, you can. Yeah, go over one, under the other. You can also open the door. Anyways, he's crashing on our couch. See you, man. What do you think about pedophiles?
You know,
I think it's crazy that they not only exist, but probably things are going on right now as we speak. Nobody's aware, you know.
I can't believe they go for it. I mean, I'm at work. I don't even want to take an extra 10 cents out of the drawer because I don't want to get caught. These guys are just like, yeah, I'm going to fuck this kid. Like, I'm not like a morally good person. I just like really, I'm like, this is not worth it. I don't want to get caught doing this. So I just like follow the rules.
So you're saying that you're attracted to kids, but you don't fuck them because...
I'm saying even if I was, I'm such a good person that I would fight against the urge. And you know what I would do?
You're more afraid of consequences.
I would trap the pedophiles with a YouTube channel. That's what I would do if I was attracted to kids.
You would trap a file?
Yeah, I would be one of the trapophiles.
How many animals are pedophiles? You
Uh,
know, like a dog fucking a underage dog, and they're not aware that they are pedophiles.
wait, yeah, is there does an older animal, I guess not a lot of animals just, like, do they see like, oh, I shouldn't fuck this, it's young? Is that, it exists in an animal brain? That's a
I don't
funny
know.
question that you basically couldn't ask any normal person, but it's very interesting. Is there like a moral compass in like animals to be like, no, I'm not gonna fuck that?
Yeah, like this pussy smells too young.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
You have to have that, or else you're going to waste all your good cum on something that can't procreate.
What do you consider good cum?
Like the tip of the dick cum.
Huh. It's funny because not bragging, but I came in my girlfriend's mouth yesterday,
Nice.
and she spit it right back, and she said, your sperm tastes retarded. And then she was like, I'm glad you didn't come inside of me because I don't want to have a retarded kid. She has a sense of humor.
She doesn't want like soggy cum in her pussy.
I don't know. So I don't know.
I mean, so she's sucked off a retarded guy before if she knows what
No,
a
she
retarded
said
guy
that my semen in that that time yesterday.
Yeah, what's her control group?
She
for-
said it tasted retarded, and that she was happy I didn't come inside of her because she didn't want to risk having a retarded child. So I don't know. That's weird.
It's nice to know that your girlfriend doesn't want a retarded child because, like, you can get rid of one. If they find out in the womb,
Mm-hmm.
they'll get rid of it. But it's like, you know, if a girl's too kind, too nice,
I would like to have a retarded child.
Like, it's God's special gift. It's like, what, us like not having a social life because we have to spend every single day taking care of this child until he's 40 and he's a man. You know,
they require a lot of selfless love.
Would you rather have a trans kid or a retarded kid? What's the difference? Am I right now?
I would rather have a trans kid because you can talk to the trans kid and they might like do something cool.
Well, the retarded,
yeah, they can make cool art.
The retarded kid is gonna be happier.
That's true.
Yeah, but they're both gonna be unfuckable.
But the trans kid's gonna be sexier.
So if they're both gonna not be getting laid, I might as well choose the one that.
But we just learned today that having sex is not everything, and then the retarded child is guaranteed gonna be happy all the time.
Are there any mentally challenged trans people? Like Down syndrome? Yeah,
I'm a woman.
Because like gender identity doesn't play into that spectrum of people. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, what if they're like retarded about their gender?
I mean, this is kind of a right wing take. I feel like gender identity.
I'm a man, but why would I trust you? You're retarded. You probably don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like gender identities, and this is a kind of right wing talking point, but it's like when you have a lot of time to think about a lot of things, which is cool. It's cool to be philosophical, whatever.
It's the future.
That's what you come to. You don't come to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but it's like, who's the one enforcing gender roles? It's not like the liberals being like, you have to be trans. It's like
nature or whatever. Like when it's brutal.
Republicans being like, hey, you gotta be man or woman.
Also, if like life is brutal enough, then that itself, because the roles were originally created to sort of.
I think like you should be whatever you want.
Yes.
Man, woman. That's a word that we humans created.
Yes.
That it's part of language. You should be whatever you want, but if you're gonna try to procreate, then you need to know your sexual orientation or like your gender. I'm sorry. So like if you have a dick, you cannot procreate with someone that has another dick.
You're blowing my mind right now.
We can just sort of like hope they figure it out. We don't have to like mandate any education or anything.
Right. So.
Two gay guys.
Animals do this, right? You know, maybe an animal feels feminine, or he feels like a woman, but he wants to come inside.
They always bring up seahorses.
Another animal with a vagina.
Look, I'm fully with you, but it's like they always bring up like, well, you know, look at seahorses, and you'd be like, yeah, they're both gay-looking sea creatures. Like it's like they're both girl seahorses. Like I get that the man, you know what I mean? Some creatures are just. Like flamingos. Those are both girls. Cats, all girls. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not a good example.
Some animals are just girly like cats.
Now, if a tiger...
Boys are dogs.
If the male tiger could get pregnant, that would be like something. Then you have a debate. But like, of course a male seahorse can get pregnant. Look at it.
Well, I just don't think that trans people are like out to get us or anything. I think it's like... people that were wrong about gay marriage, that sort of like way of thinking sort of like morphed into like this, and they just gave up gay marriage completely. Like, we lose, sorry.
And like Chappelle or like certain, you know, people will try to paint this narrative that they're very like loud or like you know, they're putting up. It's like most trans people I meet are just like shy. They just really don't want to be bothered. And like, it's funny. It's like they just want to live their life.
Most of them are like nerds.
Yeah, and they're just trying to live their life.
They're like dweebs.
And they're like, yeah, it's just funny to think that like.
I think everyone's just a human, and they're trying. Everybody's just trying to do what makes them happy, and you know, it's like back in the day, if you were like left-handed, they would hit you. You know.
Yeah.
That actually is a good point. Like
trans people are the left-handed people.
And it's like, I'm left-handed. I'm glad, you know. Back in the day, they would make you, like, you know, they would force you to do other stuff. But
be right-handed.
Like, because I was left-handed, like, my dad would force me to, like, suck his dick. No, that was bad. That is not
That's
true.
a good joke.
It's really bad.
No, yeah, that's actually very awful. Do you think like your dad being abusive is a joke that you go to because that's true for you and you're like used to saying that because you are familiar with it?
Well, the funny thing is that my dad, you know, he used to discipline me. I think that's a better word. I don't think he abused me.
Did he have a boner?
And sounds like semantics.
And I love my dad. You know, like looking back, it's like I don't know. I guess that's what people did.
You sound like a battered wife
in the
right
culture, you know, like if I misbehaved or answered back or something, you know, I would like get hit by a belt.
Like,
and up until 40 years ago, that was the norm.
But it
like,
doesn't. I
everywhere.
didn't see it as abuse, or I mean, you know,
yeah, it's just an animalistic way of communicating that we've inherited.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I deal with old people at my job,
mm-hmm.
and you're just like, I just want to punch this woman right in her head. I'm not going to, but I'm like, you know, for some reason, when I get frustrated, I think it's like hitting the TV when it's not working. I'm like, maybe I just punch this person in the head. They'll start acting right.
Yeah.
Tip me $3 dude. Breakfast waiter, dude. Old lady running back and forth all fucking day, and I just know in my head she's gonna give me $3 at the end of this, and it's just like, I don't give a fuck how old you are. I running errands for you. Like, you get to the table, they're like, I need this, go grab it. Oh, I actually need this. Like, literally 4 times in a row, and then it's just so annoying to just be like, you're gonna give me like such a measly amount of money.
$3 tip.
Yeah, because it's a breakfast place, so not everybody tips like 20%, especially like old people that just get like coffee and fucking, and even they do tip 20%.
Well, they're not. I mean, that don't you? I don't know. I don't know how much they paid for. Like, maybe they only spent $10.
No, and that's what I ultimately tell myself is just like, even if they don't tip 20%, it's like, you know, these people came in, they have whatever money, they're gonna give me whatever money they.
It's funny because you're getting the clientele that it's not used to the new tipping boom that is going on. Because now everywhere else you're getting pretty much
everybody. And at night you tip way more.
Everybody's like over tipping, and like it's crazy. Like you go to fucking, I don't know, Whataburger, and they put that iPad and what, I don't know if they have an iPad at Whataburger. That's probably a bad example.
Don't. I go there
like
all
you
the
go to, I don't know, Starbucks, where before you were not supposed to tip, you just pay for the coffee and then you get it, but now you have the iPad and it's like the, you know, it's like there. So and in a lot of places the minimum now is like 20%.
Yeah.
So
it's a bad thing.
And I remember like paying
society.
like $20 for a haircut. Now I don't know, like the cheapest or I can find is like 35 or and now you're supposed to tip 20%.
Now you have to get like your friends to cut your hair.
Yeah.
It's like tattoos are the same thing as like, unless you have a lot of money, like all my friends are covered in tattoos. They just have friends that do tattoos. Right. And it's like a funny thing to be like, I get fucked, dude. One time last week, these 3 dudes came in and they were like, oh, you are a waitress? They were fucking with me the whole time. And I actually kind of laughed about it later because I was like, it is funny to just fuck with a dude at his job at 6 a.m. just to cause chaos in the world. But I was so fucking mad. The first thing he said to me, are you our waitress? And I was like, yeah. And then they just kept saying shit like the whole time, just like trying to fuck with me. And I just kept being like, okay, dude, whatever. And I laughed about it later, but I was just like, dude, I cannot believe these people are just punishing me. They're like 3 garbage men that came in. Like,
they're just saying things weird and making it quirky.
Yeah, like at the end, I was like, how was everything? He's like, honestly, I thought it was going to be better. So I was like, all right, well, if I was cooking the food, then it would have been better. Sorry. And like, they're like, okay. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a lot to like turn on your humor brain and to ask someone to do that without like,
it wasn't humor brain. They came in there. It's like the thing that they do. They're like, we go to places and all 3 of us fuck with the person who's serving us. That's like, I caught the vibe real quick out the gate that was what was happening.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, they're like, hey, we're just joking around. Why? You can't even joke around. It's like you're foisting that upon people without asking.
It wasn't even it certainly wasn't joking like with me in on it. It was certainly a thing that they were
that's
doing.
That's the guys that they're using.
Yeah.
I went into a poke place and I was like, can I have 2 of the sushi thingies? And this girl was like, ugh. And then she just starts like picking at shit and like, what do you want now? And it's like, I wasn't trying to be like that. I wasn't trying to be jokey and like, oh, look at me, I'm like the guy from Juno. I was just like, I don't know what you call your stupid shit. Let me get that sushi thing.
Dude, I get that energy all the time. At Vulcan, like 2 or 3 times I dealt with a bartender where I was just like, hey, can I get a beer? And then it was just the attitude was like, am I not supposed to buy a beer here? Like, why is it like they're leaned over the bar talking to 3 women and it's like, fuck, it comes over to me. And dude, I tip like $2 a drink. Like I tip, you know what I mean? And then he sold me the second beer at a higher price. And I said, oh, this was like $6 the last time. But I literally just said it like that. And then he went, what are you saying? Like, he like yelled at me, and I was like, never mind, dude. My bad.
Well, I wish you hadn't said the name of the bar, but
Yeah.
Well, this was like 2 years ago, so
okay.
there's no way to like track.
'cause
This was like right when I moved to Austin. So also I had pink hair at the time, so he's probably right. To me.
Yeah, maybe.
you left that part out.
And I get that from so many people. I'm such a pushover
that was
that
a crucial part.
that
You
like,
should have been like, I was dressed and looking like a fucking idiot.
yeah. But I get that from like, I don't know. I try not to bother fucking people that are working, but they just always seem to have an issue with me in particular.
Can you imagine if that happened at the strip club? You're like, can I get a lap dance? And she's like, oh, fuck, this guy. All right. And she's giving you a lap dance sarcastically.
Yeah.
And then you have to tip her
Yeah.
25%.
Yeah, the bartenders down in 6, like, I mean, I get it. They're probably hate their job because someone's being an asshole to them. And it trickles down.
Yeah,
to me.
maybe you came across like an asshole.
Yeah, and dude, I get it. It's
the
stressful. They deal with drunk people all fucking day. But
Yeah.
it's like, I literally just like, can I have a beer? I have like my money out. I do everything the right way.
I
Yeah,
wish I
I
could have a
mean,
beer right now.
That's why we need kiosks and iPads. This is not a job for humans to like just meet people 5,000 times a day.
Yeah.
And then have to be polite to each and every one of them. It's like, get me a fucking iPad. I don't want to deal with a person. Like, I shouldn't. You know how hard it is to be polite? It takes a lot of energy. You got to, like, look for cues and shit. And I'm autistic, so maybe I'm, like, biased against social interactions. But it's like, yeah, this isn't necessary. And we're just used to humans being, like, cheap labor. It's like, oh, get a human. They'll lift all those logs, even if there's a simpler way to do it.
The other people that work at this job, I can't wrap my mind around it. I'm like, the only reason I'm doing it is because the hours. If I get offered a show, I can just say yes. I don't have to think about it because the place closes at 3. If that wasn't the case, I would not be working there. I'd be a waiter at night at like a fucking Longhorn Steakhouse or Texas. You know, it's like making so much more money. I cannot wrap my mind around. I mean, I'm sure their schedule probably calls for the same thing for a different reason, but it's weird to see certain people at jobs and be like, dude.
Yeah.
You're not making. I made like $60 there. I was there for like 8 fucking hours. It's really miserable.
Huh. That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But or like when you order Uber Eats and then they can I live in an apartment complex. When they can't find my apartment and then I have to put shorts and go down and try to find the person. It's like, fuck, I'm doing 20% of the job right now.
Yeah, you might as well just drive there. That's the most pleasant part.
I'm paying $40 for a burrito from Chipotle.
I did Uber before this job, and that's even worse than this. This job sucks, but dude, that grind is like, what the fuck, dude? It's just like, it's so crazy.
Problems of the first world.
Well, like a lot of packages, it's like the last mile problem. Like getting things to Seattle is easy, but then getting it to the specific little place that you need it costs like double what it costs to get it to Seattle, because you can bundle it together with other stuff and divide the cost of shipping. So yeah, I mean, like the last mile is the most strenuous part of an Uber Eats delivery, where you have to go into the gate, and that extra little oomph is like, you got to do it.
I feel bad for situations people are, because it's like, again, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking make 100K, but like, I'm only doing these types of jobs and doing it this way because I'm trying to do stand up, all that shit. So when I see other people where I'm like, I guess like right now it's just not an option, even if they want the better job, or they're doing a job and doing this on the side because they just have that much of an overhead, that's really fucking depressing. Because for me, it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking keep doing this, but this is the means to an end, all that shit. And then you look at people that are like, no, I need to like pay whatever child support, so I have to do DoorDash on the side, whatever it is. That's like really fucking dark.
Yeah, when you need to do it.
Because I kind of trap myself in this, so it's easier to deal with.
Well, the good thing about Uber Eats is like, you don't have to dedicate your life to it.
Yeah.
But any other job, it's like competition between all the other employees to be like, hey, I'm more dedicated to this job than you are. And it's like, if you're not playing that game, then you don't get invited to shit, and they don't hire you and stuff.
If anyone's listening and they just need money, go get your pest control license, because it's not like the best job in the world, but you'll get paid so much, and it's so fucking easy, and it's easy to get the license. It's like it's basically a test to, because the landscaping industry, with Spanish speaking people is kind of like, that's like they kind of, so what they did in pest control is they basically made the tests like racist. So they're like English, like if English is your second language, you just like struggle with it because they're like weirdly worded and shit. So it's just like that, which sucks. But also the bright side is they're just like, oh cool, if I get a license, I'm paid like this much because it's like artificially the bottleneck is. And so when I was doing pest control, I made a ton of money.
Speaking of Uber Eats. And pest control is fun too, but it's kind of
gay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much experience with that. But I was getting an Uber Eats, and this guy was like delivering my food, and I got it, and then he was like, "Were you sleeping?" I was like, "What?" No. It was like, "You look like you were sleeping." And then I was in an Uber once, and he dropped me off, and he was like, "I'm glad you got to take a nap." I like laughed that I slept in his van. But it's like, why do people act so weird around sleeping? Why are they like, oh, you slept. You're an idiot for sleeping. You're so stupid.
I've
I think
never
they're
seen
jealous.
that.
I think they're just jealous.
Yeah, because they have to work while
Yeah,
I'm
you know, like
sleeping.
are you ever like driving back from a gig and the person next to you is sleeping the entire time and you're driving? And you're like, fuck, I wish
Is
I
that
could
what
be sleeping
happened
right
with
now.
us?
No, you guys were fucking.
I was just in the back seat.
No, but
It's like when you're at a job and someone sees you hanging out and they're like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" And you're like, I did all my shit twice as fast as you, and so I have a pocket of time here.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
just
you,
gonna like.
you don't think people are weird about sleepers?
Well, that's what I'm saying is like people see you in this small moment and then they just want to make themselves feel better. It's like, this guy's just sleeping all the time. Literally, you slept for 15 minutes
Yeah.
like once.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this guy's he's sleeping when you see him. So it's like, oh, this guy does nothing with his life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm awake. I never sleep.
But people have to do that to get themselves
That's
to
so
fucking
weird.
to push.
Yeah, I think it's like sleep deprivation talking. They don't even know they're saying it. It's just the demon
yeah.
inside them. They're like, sleep is bad. I don't get sleep because I'm a good person. But yeah, I think it's
every
people-
time I Uber back from downtown, I just fall asleep because I'm probably drunk and
Yeah.
just pass out in the back
I haven't
seat.
Ubered in so long. Uber is a luxury.
Yeah. It is nice, but it's like I don't want to talk to someone. Like I pay for a bus and I don't have to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I pay for an Uber and now I have to talk to you. I paid you $20.
Couldn't you just like you might be able to just play the Asian card, just pretend like you can't speak English.
So Asian, sorry.
Yeah.
That's
I literally would
nice.
do that all the fucking time because I do hate talking to people. But when people talk to me, there's nothing I can. I was like, okay,
Dude, sometimes it's like they don't even need you to respond. They're just like so pent up. They're just like unloading on you.
Yeah.
Whatever they think conversation.
Have you ever
sound
seen
like.
what they rate you? Like,
Yeah, I got a 4.7.
I don't know what's my score on Uber. Should we compare scores?
Yeah, let's do it.
today.
Do you use Lyft or Uber? Both.
He doesn't use it.
I haven't used either of them forever.
either. Yeah, I usually check both, see which one's cheaper, and then I go for that one.
This morning at
Yeah, it's such a pain in the
we're
ass.
supposed to get people's phone numbers at work, right? So that after their meal, they get
4.83. Sorry.
a text to review the
I don't know
meal.
how to check mine.
Oh, I'm in Uber right now.
I'll view profile. 4.9 on Lyft.
So they ask us to ask for people's phone numbers, and so I asked this guy for his phone number this morning,
4.8.
and he yells, "If I gotta give you a phone number, then I'm not eating here." And he turns and like storms out. And I just want to be like, dude, do you think I'm the one? I don't want to fucking ask you for your phone number. And also, if you say no, I just say okay. That's all they say. If they say no, you don't have to put a phone number in, but you have to ask them for it.
What is it for?
They're paying me $2 an hour, by the way. So it's like, it's fucking absolutely insane. They're like, here's
Nice.
$2 an hour, and you get tips from customers. Also, why don't you start the interaction by pissing them off when the empty restaurant asking them for their fucking phone number instead of
Yeah.
just seating them? And I'm like,
Nice.
great. Thank you for setting me up for failure.
Do you have a beer?
Yeah, downstairs in the fridge. Do you want a
Is
beer?
it
I'm
yours? Is it okay to
Yeah.
go? So it's not
Can you
your.
get me a beer?
It's
But-
not your roommates, no.
No, it's fine.
He threw a
Which
bi-
one?
The White Claw. There's
Okay.
only one beer in there.
He threw a big stink
White
about his
Claw's
phone
not a
number.
beer, but I'll get up.
It's like, I get spam calls
whatever.
all the time. It's like, all right, dude. Well, you fucked up. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like giving people's phone numbers is kind of weird.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. I mean, I'm gonna find something else soon, but it's like they'll cut you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna need more tables. But to do all of the shit I have to do before I leave, it at least takes an hour, and that's if I'm doing it fast. And so the whole time I'm just like, and then I'm expected to still fucking like run food if it's up there and shit. And I just don't do it. I'm just like, once I'm cut, I'm just like, I literally will say it. Like, I'm getting paid $2 an hour right now, so I'm not helping you with your table. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. Like, it's just like, once I'm not making tips anymore, I have to get out of here as soon as fucking possible. Because it's my hourly rate is fucking plummeting.
That's a very millennial way to work.
Well, it's just like, dude, what the fuck? It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, but don't you think like it's like, hey, you're doing it, you're there, like you might as well. It's not that much more work to help out a little bit, make it look good for the company.
No, because I'm good at fucking working. So even if I go at like a slow pace, I'm doing 5 things to every one thing. It's almost every job I've ever worked at. And I just accept it. I don't get mad at people. I'm just like, everyone's going to do how much they can do. But standing around talking, all that shit, I just don't do that. So like, if I fucking don't stop myself, it's just like, I'm going to be doing all the shit for you because I'm going to get to it first and I'm going to fucking figure out the issue. Like, it's just, so I just have to be like, once I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you don't.
Also, if you're a good worker, you have the privilege of being like, nah, I'm not doing that. There's like something you're supposed to fill out at the end of the day where you like list the core values of the company and shit before you leave on this slip every day you come in. I just said, nah, I'm not doing that. And they're like, well, you have to. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And they're like, okay.
That's good. You got to stand up for yourself.
Well, it's like I show up and I do it.
I'll
and
try
I
to take every part of your soul.
Yeah. So the trade-off is like, look, I'm going to be here and work hard. But if anything I deem as not fucking useful at all.
You got to be cool at your job.
It's just not useful. It's like a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, we should give people more autonomy to do the job the way that they see fit.
Because if I'm happy, then I'm going to be pleasant to customers. If you make me fucking do these things, it's like now I'm being an asshole. So, yeah. But, you know, it's only temporary because any minute now, dude, my horses are going to come home.
Do you do a lot of mics? I don't see you a lot, Paul.
I try to at least do one like spot, whether it's a show or a mic, every night. But I'm going to try to get out there more because I definitely feel that where like one time last year, like I saw Han somewhere and it really hit me. He was like, "Oh, are you back?" And I hadn't gone anywhere. And I was just like, I don't know if you were fucking with me or not, but I was really like, fuck, man, I'm not out there doing comedy enough. Han thinks I'm like out of town.
Well, I thought the same because I hadn't seen you for a while.
Paul's a very emotional worker.
I sneak in and sneak out a lot. Like I'll go up first at mics, and but I definitely do need to. It would be better if I was more persistent.
Because you're saying that you do the job that you have.
Yeah.
Because of stand up.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do or not, but I feel like you should do all the mics.
I need to get into another run of like 3-4 spots a night type shit.
Like all the mics that you can.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you know.
But now it's fucking impossible. You sign up online, never get on that shit. Fucking went to Buzzmill 6 hours early, signed up for standby, and then when it started, I didn't see my name on the list. And they're like, "Oh, you'll probably be able to get up at the end." And I was like, "Why every other week is standby?" It's like it's because it's a big scene or whatever.
But there's also a lot of mics.
No, for sure. But it is like it's really a headache sometimes to navigate it. And I just try to get a lot of work done on like, you know, I write and I show up and I'm like, I'm doing these 16 jokes and then I go home and you know what I mean? So I try to make it like, I'm not saying that because I write at home, I don't have to do as many mics, but I think like more so than a person who writes on stage and shit like that. Like if I can write for an hour and go to a mic.
Do you think like doing open mics makes you better at comedy or does it just make you good at open mics?
I think both, because we don't realize it, but there's a lot of shit that goes on. Like I think every time you get on stage, it's kind of like a muscle memory, and you're learning little things that you don't know you're doing. You know, someone at the bar goes crazy, you react to that, or you try to get someone's attention, or even, you know, you're performing outside and it's windy, or, you know, the place has a shitty speaker system. Like, all of these things, they kind of like add up.
So you get to the essence of funny. You're like, what is funny in this situation? What would be funny to say to these people in this basement?
Exactly.
With a mop.
I also think that you just have to constantly evaluate, like, you have to do it a certain way. It's kind of like when I used to play like video games in terms of stuff. It's like there's playing to learn and playing to win. So like if you're in the tournament, you're playing to win. So you'll do something even if it's kind of a bad habit because it's working against this person or whatever. But then if I'm in a friendly, versus you, I'm gonna use a shitty character or something. I'm gonna try to do shit that I'm not good at because now I don't care about winning this match. So with mics, it's like you kind of have to get away from that. Like,
well, that's the thing. Like with mics, like you can get a little jaded where you're like, oh, fuck this audience, and you get really good at the fuck this audience mode. But that's not really a great thing to have at shows. Right. Because the fuck this audience, they're like, no, we paid. We want it to be good. Like, we're trying. Right. If you keep trying, we'll meet you. But, like, if at an open mic you keep trying, they're going to be like, look at this guy, he's trying.
I've heard a few people talk about how, like, oh, this many mics or going to this really shitty mic isn't helpful. And then I just think about every fucking person that I know that I've seen personally have a glow up and stand up, yourself included. I'm like, dude, when I met that guy, he was fucking 4 times a night. Like, it's like maybe he doesn't do it now because he has the other stage.
I like doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
And it's like I need to get what I need out of that night. If I need to like work on a bit or like I need to feel like something happened.
Also, I feel like when you're in a mic and you're waiting, you're getting the comedy mentality. So you're thinking about jokes, you're thinking about tags, you're thinking about shit.
On the way there and the way back, I'll think of something that I wouldn't have thought of.
You'll listen to your set.
And if you don't have a job, you're in the shower thinking about it.
Right.
All your attention is on it.
Mm-hmm. And just being out, like, you never know, like, what night that like, someone just books you. They just see you, and then someone dropped, and you're there. So that's, like, a big part of it, too. Yeah. That I kind of fall short on, although sometimes I feel like me being out too late is like diminishing returns. Like if I'm around some of these people too long, they're gonna actually start to not like me.
Yeah, instead or of just being you're gonna become like them.
It really is just more like, I don't know. I just feel like I always feel like when I'm standing in a group of comics, with few exceptions, that I'm like sort of okay. Well, I guess you guys are having a conversation and I'm. You know what I mean? It's like, is it weird I'm standing here?
I think that happens to everyone, but it's, you know, a matter of just being yourself and trying to have fun. Like, I'm also very, like, socially awkward, but once you get to know people, you know, most people are very nice, and you sort of become friendly with them, and you lose that guard or whatever you had before. But that happens all the time.
The scene is another beast. Navigating the scene and the open mics and like hanging with people, that's like a full-time job too, and a lot of people get addicted to that.
That's why I just cling to, like you said, just like I like doing this, so it's just approaching it like, yeah, I just want to go there and do it. It's shitty, no one's there. I'm like, all right, dude, I go to the Mueller Park mic because it's just like, this is what I like doing, and like even again the worst version of it is still, it's getting me somewhere and it feels good, and really just leaning into that part of it rather than being like, I got to do this because I'm grinding and shit. It's definitely more worth it to just be like, no, I like losing myself in this for the sake of losing myself. No. And like I said, dude, everyone I know that fucking is successful, when I met them, they were doing like 5 mics a night. So the idea that like I've heard of my comments, oh, you get like bad habits. And I'm like, dude, what are you going to do then? You're gonna.
I mean, it's better to have good habits than to have it's better to have good habits and bad habits than no habits. And like if you do that much comedy, you get like this sort of confidence where you're like, oh, I deserve to do good, and then you allow yourself to kill.
The way I see it is like, if you want to be like a professional, a stand-up, professional in stand-up, that means you're probably, I mean, I'm just speaking from what I know, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like you're going to be doing stand-up from Sunday to Sunday, every day. So if you're an open micer, you need to get in the mindset of just going out every night like it's your job, even though you're not a professional yet. At 6 p.m., you leave, and then you come back home whenever, you think, you know. But during that time, you're trying to do mics, you're trying to work on your material, you know.
I agree, but I do
So
get where
it's-
people come from because, like, I am really, you know, like a lot of people want to be further along than I am. But then I look, especially the first few months I was here, and, you know, no one booked me, no one. And, like, being in that spot, looking at the sea of open micers, it's like, it is fucking, like, it's so hard. Like, I have friends that moved here and haven't. They can't even get booked on. You know, it's like me being grateful for, like, the secret group books me. Like, it's just not. Because I can be like, what the fuck? Like, I got nothing going on. And then it's like, damn, imagine if I didn't have what I have. Like, how deflating.
Yeah, imagine if you were fucking. Imagine if you were fucking.
Fucking.
I'm trying to think of who I can throw
If
under
you
the
were
bus
fucking.
right now.
Dude, it's like Matt Hart. Like, there's no. It's just, there's 150 people
Bro,
here.
there are
and,
there
like,
are there are comics in other places that they only get access to like 3 mics a week.
Yeah.
And you're in Austin, you know, we have the advantage of having so many mics. There's not a reason, like, if you're able to do it, like, don't be, why are you choosing, you know, staying at home, just watching Netflix with your girlfriend? I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that was kind of like, you know, on a Sunday for me, I kind of rather stay at home with my girlfriend. But I made the decision, I'm just going to go out every night at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not saying it's better or not, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's good to do a lot of sets. What are you gonna do tonight?
Lucky Duck. And I was
I
gonna.
hate Lucky Duck.
And
I like that game. Lucky though.
yeah, it really was apparent to me last week.
It's like you're yelling at people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So me and Hans went to Lucky Duck, and you know, it's like okay sets, especially for open mic sets. It's like cool. I learned something from that. It's just funny walking away. I was like, "Oh, what did you think about that?" And Hans was like, "It felt like doing comedy outside." And I was like, "Oh yeah." Hans is like, "There's no reason for him to go to this one anymore." And for me, it's like that's a staple. I gotta go to Lucky Duck.
Man,
every
I
week.
love when I see Hans at a mic, even though it doesn't happen a lot. But I love when I see you because I don't know. It's like you're still a comic, you know. Like if it in my mind, it's like, oh, he probably has some free time and he just wants to do a set, and that's cool. Like,
yeah, it's like this is where comedy happens. This is where
like
comedy is.
yeah,
so
and
if
you
want to do comedy,
You're the first dude that like I saw someone were like, oh shit, I didn't just show up and this guy was already this. I saw him do that,
Yeah.
which is like huge for people. It's like somebody, I mean, fucking,
too.
not all of us are gonna do that shit, but some of us are gonna do that. So there's something
Yeah,
there.
it
You
gives
mentioned
people hope.
you mentioned Houston recently, and it happened in Houston. They were doing like a mic or something, and then Dave Chappelle came in, and there
Cool.
were like 5 comics only left. Like it was the end of the night, and then pretty much everybody started texting each other like, "Holy shit, Dave Chappelle is here," and he did like 2 hours, you know. But yeah, it was like he just went up.
That's so cool.
You going up?
Going up.
Yeah, Ari went up at the
Yeah,
mothership
let's go
one.
up.
Yeah, let's go up, bro.
Comedy. We're all just dogs, just doing comedy.
We're slaves of comedy.
How much time you got, bruh?
You know, it's weird when you meet someone that has other talent. Like for me, stand up is the thing where it's like, look, I am creative, but I don't think I have the ability to do like this is the thing I'm doing. And then you meet other people and you're like, yo, go fucking be a director or something. Like you're fucking talented. Why are you doing this? Is for like people that have no like in. You know what I mean? It's like anyone can show up, you can start doing it. There's industries where it's like, oh, you went to college, you know this guy. Like I went to NYU, and like when I meet or Emerson in Boston, like those people doing stand up, I'm like, you got to skip
if
this
you're
whole.
from the Hamptons, don't play basketball, play lacrosse or skiing.
But it is awesome, so I kind of get it. But also, it's not awesome.
Did you hear about the Duke lacrosse case?
The fake rape.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I heard about
the
it.
FAPE.
I didn't hear about it. Can you tell me what happened?
So these 2 black strippers go to the Duke lacrosse party and they strip, and then later they get arrested and they go to like a rehab place and they're like fixing them up. They're like, "Why are you so fucked up? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And they're like, "I got raped." And then this prosecutor gets the case and he's like, "Oh, let's bring down the hammer on these fucking." and they didn't get raped. She was just like, just a sad person that was just like going through a lot, and was like, yeah, fuck it, I got raped. And they were like trying to make them fuck a broom handle.
What the fuck?
Yeah, which isn't cool, but they didn't rape them. And then the prosecutor made this whole
Were they like
big thing
wingmanning the
about
broom
it.
handle? Like, he's a super cool guy. You should fuck my friend, the broom handle.
Yeah. If the broom handle can get laid, we can all get laid.
The broom handle's the nicest guy I know, man. He's always there for me.
I'm so dumb. I thought when you said broom handle, it was the actual handle
What?
of a broom.
What do you mean?
Like they wanted the girls to put a stick up their
Yeah,
pussy.
that's what that's what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right.
What did you think that I thought?
Then after I thought broom handle was some guy that handles the broom. And because they're rich, they have some guy that just
Hey, this guy's the broom
like,
handler.
hey, someone dropped something on the floor. Call the broom handle.
This guy's the vacuum handler.
I'm not
Exactly.
a janitor. I'm a broom handler. Okay?
I handle the broom. He's a handler. The broom has a lot of specific needs.
Yeah, getting lied on in a rape situation would feel very bad if that happened to me.
Rape?
Yeah. Like if someone just was like outright lied and you're just like, what? Because even if people don't believe her, it's still just like, why do I gotta fucking have this in my, you know?
Now you
Now, not as bad as getting raped.
Yes. How many rape accusations equals one rape?
Oh, I don't know.
I would say depends on the rape. But an average rape and an average rape accusation, I would say 10.
Yeah, it's just
So if you get raped, you get 10 rape accusations. You can just go around ruining men's lives. You pick them wisely.
people do smaller versions of it though. Like one thing that bothers me is when you're dating a girl and every single one of her ex-boyfriends is like a piece of shit. And it's like, no, you guys loved each other and then you had a weird falling out and now you've villainized him because it helps you get over him.
Yeah, because you're a narcissist, and
Yeah.
anyone that makes you feel like you're not the main character is like you violated a sacred bond between me and my image of myself.
Yeah. And
that is crazy. That is true, right?
Yeah.
You are like an incredible human being to them during the entire relationship, and then usually towards the end or whatever,
You cheat on them and
something
slap them
happens.
around and rape them, and then they're like, oh,
It's just a coping
What the
thing.
fuck are
It's
you
like
saying?
you can't deal with your own shit. It's like, you know, me and Hans would hang out for a few months and I'm like, he's not even that fucking funny anyway, dude. You know, you're just like, it's coping.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Paul.
You ever see your girlfriend gets super angry and then you really see what she's made of?
Oh, yeah, dude. We had a fight like a few months ago. It was like our one big fight and she is fucking saying a lot of mean things.
Sometimes like what you do to someone isn't good, and it's not your fault. Like if there was like a super jockey guy and I had to hang around him all day, I would like resent him, I'd hate him, and I'd hate him, but it's not his fault. He was just there. So like just because you have this idea of what this person is and how they affected you doesn't mean they're necessarily a bad person. They were just not in the right place at the right time for you to enjoy them.
That's how I navigate open mics. Is like if I don't like someone when I meet them, I don't like. I'm just of course like, you know, it's not unless they're a bad person. I try to just like, all right, it's fine. They can be this person.
Yeah, like that's the thing about open mics is that everyone is struggling. Everyone's like trying to do something. So it's like I am on this path and then you're here. It'd be great if we could get along, but
Yeah.
I'm focused on going to this place. So it's like it's not necessarily always going to work out because the goal isn't to like just get along with everyone.
Also, like,
But I think it's I mean, this is kind of, I don't know what the word is, but at the end of the day, if you just like kind, it's just better than being a dick.
Yeah.
That's just the short answer.
Yeah.
Like, what? Don't be
But
an
don't
asshole
be,
just to be
like,
an asshole.
Being like going up to everyone, hi, what's your name? Yeah, what's your Instagram handle? Yo, let's connect. I love
Yeah.
you. Because that's fake.
Right.
and then people are
But
so
be
like
kind.
not
I mean-
self-aware. Like, so in Kill Tony, like if someone when they used to do Vulcan, you could watch the sets. If someone up there, it's like their first time ever, and they were fucking awful. People get like mad in the pit. They're just like fucking angry. Oh, this guy, blah blah. And someone be like, dude, he's allowed to sign up. It's the only reason that we're fucking here. It's either all of us can sign up or we're not getting on this show. So like getting mad at this guy, it's like that's why open mics are great. It's like everyone can fucking sign up And yeah, does it suck to follow 4 people that like debatably are like mentally ill and just scream? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but that's what's the beauty of like, you don't need a credential or whatever. So getting mad at someone for that is just like, bro, if they had a fucking sign up sheet that only certain people invited, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't fucking make the cut. So like, you have to accept that there's gonna be people who get up there that are. Also, it's like you're just gonna bomb as well when you're up there. And speaking of myself too, it's like funny when people get mad if it was someone for bombing. It's like, if I was up there, dude, I'd fucking kill. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's gonna go that way for you.
I don't know. Like, we make a huge deal about stand-up.
Yeah.
And, like, just remember why you started doing it. It was just, like, it was fun.
Yeah.
But now we do,
a sunk cost. I've invested too much in this for it to do anything but make me famous.
So, are you doing stand-up just to be famous?
No, you're saying the
that's a
mindset
good
of other people. Is that what you're saying?
That's a good perk of it. That's a good side effect of it. But it's like, I need so much from it now. I've invested so many marbles into it. Like, if it doesn't do everything for me, then like there's so much expectations now because it's like been such a large part of my life that if it doesn't pan out, then it's like my life has been pathetic. So
don't you think you would have found?
Are you already winning? Like, by just performing in front of
I'm winning
300 people?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, but like, so that's my point. Like, you do an open mic in front of 40 people, say at Lucky Duck.
Yeah.
And then you do a show in front of 40 people at some other venue that it's also outdoors, but it's like, I got booked at a show.
Yeah, just the status symbol of it.
What's the like, you're going up, you have 40
What's
people.
What's more significant is the impact that you make on people and the way they look at you like, oh my God, you are so amazing.
Yeah, no, it's like, at the end of the day, I mean, you started doing stand-up because whatever. And then
you have ideas that you want to communicate to people and you like to talk to people.
I mean, the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is like, I think being famous or whatever, saying you want to be successful, it's worthless.
Yeah,
like, you're already successful today. If you like doing it and you enjoy doing it and you went up in front of people.
Like someone who's good at like carpentry. Like, you're not doing it to be famous. You're doing it because you love carpentry and you want to do it well. There's some of that in stand-up where you just want to get up and do well. You want to do the art form the best way.
Right. So what's the rush? Just
Paul.
Enjoy. No, I'm not talking about Paul. I'm talking
Paul's
almost like
so obsessed
I'm
with failure.
almost like talking to myself.
Yeah, just take your time, enjoy it. Talking to an audience, it's such a beautiful, precious thing that we can all have discipline and pay attention.
I do try to tell myself that, is even at like open mic, it's like, it is cool. Everything else aside, they're gonna give me this microphone. They don't know what I'm gonna say. I could say some shit. You know what I mean? And it is cool. Even,
I don't believe you.
Even at that lowest level, that they
say some shit right now.
Do that, and it's grateful. You can't say
some shit, bitch.
You can't say fag anymore.
You can't?
I don't know. People don't like it when I say fag.
That's what I thought you called the broom handler, the rag fag.
I don't get it.
The broom handler.
As dudes drinking White Claw.
Janitor, broom handler, rag fag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say being kind though helps because I feel like people would have much more of an issue with some.
I think loving humanity helps, and kindness is a byproduct of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even love humanity, but I'm kind to people just because it's like
you love the concept of a human.
I just had good parents.
Just
I guess.
The basic human base model is like, that's a good thing. And if you have that love for like just base humanity, then you'll love yourself because you're like, oh, I meet the minimum requirement to be awesome, that I respect in others. But if you hate just people, then you're gonna be like, oh, I'm just a person. Oh, I gotta wash my asshole again. I'm so dirty.
Is there a tiny child screaming in the background?
There's a tiny child screaming
in
the background. Why do you not like listening to me talk?
I like listening to you talk.
It's like, what else is going on?
No, it's just... All right. I love listening to you talk.
well, why don't you respond to things that I say instead of just...
Oh, I brought a bottle of whiskey that I left in my car.
Okay.
Should I get it?
Sure.
I feel like I'm just.
Are we gonna get drunk?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of.
Should I order a pizza?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get the bottle of whiskey.
You want to play Catan?
It's half a bottle. I've never played, but I can watch you guys.
So what do you think about the whole comedy scene?
I think it's amazing. I think it's very cool.
Wait, don't say anything until I come back.
All right.
Close that door.
I think it's very cool, and I think it's fucking it's fucking happening, and I just hope Pokemon, where you gotta get the ticket to the SSAN before it leaves. I just hope I find my ticket before fucking the ship sets sail. You know what I mean? That's all I'm hoping. But if not, I've come to grips with it. I'm really not like bitter just because it's like, I don't know, man. If it doesn't, it's like it's more likely not than will. So it's like you gotta just.
Well, I think doing comedy is fun. So even if you don't make it,
yeah,
at least you got to do comedy and talk to people, which is what it really all boils down to. Even if with all the fame and the money, you can't like derive that as your source of energy, because that's toxic fuel.
And it still led me to like meeting Alyssa.
Enjoy comedy at the end of the day if you're doing it right, anyways.
Yeah, it's already given me a lot of lifelong friends and all that. So
yeah, it's like a cult. You got friends in every city, and there's people that will trust you implicitly in a way that most people won't understand.
Yeah,
just go to an open mic, do like some 5 shitty one-liners, and then after the set, they're like, okay, he's one of us.
Yeah.
Here's some weed. Here's some alcohol. Do you need a place to crash?
Yeah. Do you think I'm obsessed with failure?
I think you're obsessed with not trying to fail as much.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, now we're taking questions. Please ask questions in the chat.
I can't even imagine how much they hated this fucking.
Apparently, the wide angle is the best angle.
See, I came in here trying to be myself. I said, I'm going to be myself on this one, dude. And then you see what happens? Everyone is fucking awful.
Well, I think that you did great, and
thank you.
We're all doing great.
Yeah, and ultimately with podcasting, I've learned it's just gonna always feel like once you turn the mics off, there's no one applauding at the end while you walk off. So
it's
you
kind of like a conversation.
Yeah. And dude, I mean, I listen to these types of podcasts, like I love craft and shit like that, but I just know that like, I just feel like people roll their eyes sometimes. They're like, I don't know. I probably think too much about.
Yeah, I don't respect those people.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they're doing anything. It's not like they're doing something better. They don't have an alternative. Their alternative is to do nothing and to decay and die. I'd rather be doing something and getting better at it than just like making fun of people.
Yeah. And fucking you never. I think it's cool to like change someone. The kid at my work went to an open mic. He didn't even tell me. He went to an open mic in San Marcos, and it's just cool that he just like heard I did comedy and he just went out and did an open mic. And I was like, really? He's like, so many of my friends have said they were gonna do that, and he just. It's cool when.
That one doesn't have any water.
So yeah, what do you think about drinking? You want to drink a lot right now?
A little bit.
I'm not gonna partake, but I'll watch you guys.
You don't drink?
I do, just not tonight.
Okay.
Tonight.
But thank you for the offer.
Do you want it with a little bit of water or no?
Yeah.
Or just on the rocks?
Just give me whatever you're getting. So, what do you think about Trump going to jail?
Dude, I don't know.
This is syrup. That looks so alcoholic the way it trickles out. Is it clogged? Anyways.
I think it's like a flame safety
on
thing.
What?
Like Bacardi 151 has like it's like a, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know why I said that like I have any fucking idea. Yeah, it's a fucking
Fucking shut up.
So,
let's talk about Francisco, one of the most unique comics in the Austin scene.
Cheers, man.
Seriously.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Thanks for coming on my podcast.
Salud.
Why is there so much fucking ice? This ice is like attacking me.
It's a Venezuelan.
That is true. I think that's a Venezuelan thing, where you put a lot of ice.
I mean, that ice would cost $10,000 in Venezuela.
How dare you waste so much ice?
We're gonna call ice.
Yeah, that's how you know someone's Mexican, is if they use too much ice.
Venezuelans love ice. Mexicans hate ice.
Yeah. No, but it's funny that you said earlier how you had like problems or trouble sometimes talking with other comics.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever, like, since I met you, you were one of the easier guys to talk to.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like every time we run into each other, it's always really nice. And then I feel bad that I don't reach out to hang out with you outside of stand-up.
okay.
Yeah, because you hate yourself more than any other comic.
Really? I take that as badge of honor.
Not that you hate yourself better than other comics. You hate yourself more than you hate other comics. So like when I talk to you, I know that you're not gonna attack me because you're not like, oh, I'm awesome. You're like, oh yeah, I suck. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I'm gay. So it's like safe.
Yeah. Thank you. I played Smash Brothers for a long time in tournaments, and I was in bands, and so that's kind of why I fucking maybe think of too much about trying to succeed, is because I'm just like I've climbed a mountain and not reached the summit twice, and I'm just like, yo, I gotta make this one work. I don't want to get this close.
How does that impact the joke writing and the stage? Because I feel like thinking like that would get in the way of the actual process and the actual doing of it. If you need it to be that successful, I would say like just enjoy doing it, because I think it's a inherently enjoyable thing to talk in front of people, because we're social animals.
Mm-hmm.
So how much are you thinking about success?
I mean, in the day-to-day, probably not much. I'm mostly just doing it. I like writing jokes and telling them.
Don't you write like a blog about how sad your life is?
Yeah, you know what? People reached out and liked that, and then I thought about you reading it, and I was like, he probably thought it was fucking gay.
I liked it. I think it's great. I think a blog, it gives you like an insight into a certain like personality trait, or they're like their life isn't just in the moment. It's like a larger picture.
You can connect to your audience or to others.
Yeah, and I just take shots in the dark with everything now, because it's.
Can you give us a glimpse of the things that you have written recently? Some topics or premises?
Okay, we're taking questions in the chat. Did anyone ask any questions?
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, check my blog out.
Yeah, but I mean, I know you guys, and I like you guys, but I don't know you guys a lot. Like, I want to know like where you're from and that kind of thing. What made you like pursue stand up?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's why I'm asking about your blog. What are you talking about there?
I just wrote a thing, and then I read it back, and I kind of liked it, so I posted online. It was just about
you're about what?
Just doing stand up, and it was like centered around when I was at Kill Tony last week. A bird shit on my head, and
that is good luck.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what his blog is about.
Yeah. So, and
that's good luck. What does that even mean? Like, who decided? Like, is it just a coping mechanism for people that got shit on?
Yeah, for sure.
Why are we spreading this?
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
And lying to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your dad dying.
That's good luck.
It means you're gonna have 7 years of sex.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I'm happy Dad died because now I get to fuck.
Yeah, like, why do you want to associate those two things together?
I think it's just
what if you're just like...
It's just a way of humans to make things, easier and make light of. Because, getting shit on a bird is not good. You just got really bad luck.
Yeah.
That a bird shit on you.
And then I sat there and I was like,
and then you went up and you bombed.
I'm gonna get called, and I'm gonna tell them that a bird shit on my head, and it's gonna be fucking great. And then you just don't get called, and you're like, oh yeah. that ain't how it works.
That could also happen in life,
Yeah.
where the worst possible situation happens, and that's why you need to be delusional and be like, I am still the main character.
I mean, I wrote like a 2,000 word blog, pitying myself, so I think it's very apparent. I think I'm the main character for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone should think that way and then make awesome art about it instead of just everyone just not being the main character and just contributing little iPhone cases.
You're like one of the only people that shit on me. If you would shit on me about doing my blog, I would not immediately say, yeah, I wrote more that night than you have in a fucking year. Suck my dick. You know what I mean? But there's just like.
So if you had to describe yourself in one word, which word would you use?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a tough one.
Melancholy.
I don't like that.
Cerebral.
Really? Cerebral?
You
You think so?
Yeah. I hope so, because what else do you have? If you're not in your brain, you're not... What else have you got going on?
Not much, dude. Not much.
I'm just kidding.
I think you're great, and you should.
I think you're great.
Thank you, man. But you should do because I do that too.
What?
You're
be
just
white?
No, you're just a little bit more vocal about it. Like you shit on yourself a lot.
Yeah, he's an expert.
So your self-talk is shitty.
Oh, it's really bad.
I think you should.
He's an expert at it.
I think you should just talk nicer to yourself and be kinder to you.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah. Do you want to do
I
that
don't know.
now?
I don't know how to do
Say
that.
something
Just
nice
say,
about you.
Honestly, it's
I
like
love you, myself.
at this
Say something
point,
nice about you.
I feel like if I had changed in my early 20s or something, but now it's like I'm just used to it. I don't think it like harms me that much. It is fucked up though when I'm driving around. I'm just like, I'm a fucking idiot. Fuck me. But it doesn't really.
I'm a fucking idiot.
It's kind of numb now. So I feel like it's not that big of a deal anymore.
It's so funny. You
Didn't even notice
talk shit about yourself in your Boston accent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Dude, one time when my friend got in a
Boston
car
mob.
accident.
People with accents, fucking losers.
I was in Boston doing a blunt ride, and we got in a car accident, and my friend got out of the car, and he's punching himself in the face, going, I'm fucking retarded, and he was punching himself in the head. And his dad used to abuse him, so it was like, he's just like getting it out.
I'm fucking retarded.
So he's standing in the middle of the street, like, I'm fucking retarded. And the guy, it's just a little rear-ending thing, and the guy was like, it's fine.
Hey.
Settle down.
Whoa. You're
But-
acting kind of weird right now.
It's like,
It's like not a big deal.
yeah, something goes wrong in your life, and you're just like, yeah, I knew this was
Well,
going to fucking
car
happen.
accidents can feel horrible.
Oh, for sure. When the kid ran in the back of me, I didn't even report to my insurance.
The worst part about
Okay.
the car accidents are when the other person is dead. You know, that's like the worst part.
Yeah, like
then
Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh my god,
Who?
dude! Imagine fucking killing. I know someone.
That's
who
such a
killed someone.
funny way to kill someone.
How?
Because you rear end them into traffic. So all it takes is
Jesus
just like
Christ.
that little boop. And then that's all it takes to murder someone. It's crazy that we
It
have a
is.
system built on personal cars.
And what
Oh,
can
yeah.
you do in 7 years of life to atone for taking even one life? You know what I mean? It's like you are net negative now for being alive. Congratulations.
Congrats. Starting now, you're a
Yeah.
waste of space.
You brought suffering
why-
upon the planet.
That's why I'm not touching my car. Like I'm leaving my car here, and I'm coming tomorrow to get it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm drinking now.
Okay.
And
It
I had
felt
a,
weirdly legal to say that right now.
I had a DWI.
You did?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
But it got dismissed. But yeah, that made me realize it's not worth taking the wheel when you're drinking because you're
Driving is so crazy.
you're
It's
driving
so
a
crazy
weapon.
we make everyone do it. This is not a sustainable way to transport people. You know how easy it is to transport people and to think that everyone needs a car to do it?
It's crazy it works as well as it does.
Well,
I know.
what is crazy is that the United States is supposed to be the best country in the world, yet our public transportation system sucks.
Yeah, because we are trying to
We're also a giant
fuck
fucking
over
country,
black
though.
people.
Yeah, but we could make
That's
it
not why
like
it's-
it's the United States of America. They could make it happen.
I know, but you know, to be my dad, be like, lay over America over the European. You know, it's a fucking giant country, which
I know,
doesn't.
but
help
we
them.
actively destroyed our public transit.
Can we at least get a fucking train from like downtown Austin?
Imagine a train between the three
Sure.
major cities here: San
Yeah.
Antonio, Houston, and Dallas.
Yeah.
That'd be so convenient. Like that road trip
You
we
didn't
did.
mention Austin.
Well, it would go through Austin.
Okay.
to go, from Dallas to San Antonio.
This is how much of a
much right by
philosophical insect I am. It's like you guys talking about this obviously be a huge thing for so many people, but literally all I can be like, yeah, I could do comedy without driving now. It's the only thing I do.
All you have to do is get an Uber.
And people.
But that's kind of good because if everyone's pursuing their own thing, then the common interest of like someone's, maybe they're not doing comedy, they're doing another thing, is like if everyone's just going after something, it will improve the world because we'll be like, oh, we got to make, you know what I mean? Like, even though it is like selfish for me to think that way, if everyone thought that way about their own industry, it would like everything would get better, you know what I mean? Or whatever they're doing. Just be like,
yeah, but then it's like Texas, oil. You want people to drive cars because cars need gasoline, and all of that. It's a whole different deal. So
yeah.
And the problem is when most people get over the hump. It's why, Hans bringing up shit is like sometimes it's a bit, but other times it's like it's cool because it's like as soon as I get over a hump, if I do, I ain't fucking looking at me like fuck you guys. I got a car. I don't give a shit about this anyway. That's how everybody is, and then that's why things don't. You go like.
Well, even if you have a car, it's annoying to drive it and park it every day.
I like driving.
And if you're drinking, you cannot drive it.
But it's also nice to drive a helicopter everywhere. Doesn't mean it's sustainable.
I don't think it would be that nice.
You don't think so?
No.
What about like
every time you go out,
boat?
Boats suck too.
Well,
I like cars.
What about a jetpack? Like it'd be cool to get everywhere in a jetpack, but that doesn't.
I feel like Paul would be in a yacht and he'd be like, "Man, my life sucks. This yacht,
I'm an artist, dude.
It's too big for me.
I'm an artiste.
I don't like the jacuzzi with so many Russian strippers. I don't want to cheat on my girlfriend."
No, dude. As soon as I make it, I'll be happy. That's everything. It'll fix my whole life.
What is making it for you, bro? I just want to know.
It's to speak it up. I just want to be fucking doing it like the real way at a club, like whether it's some other shit. You know what I mean? It's like it's not even about like not having a side day job or whatever, but it is about like being it's like can show up to a show, be like, can I do 5 minutes? It's just kind of like being at that upper echelon of like
upper echelon,
so that I can do it better and I do work on a full hour and all that shit. But I know it's you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know what you mean, but I think this is what I think you mean. You want to be at a point where you could just go to any comedy club and they know who you are and you could get stage time.
I want people to think.
And you want to perform in front of a real audience every night instead of empty chairs and an open mic and then get shit by a bird.
Empty chairs and empty tables.
I want people to see how much of a genius that I know I am. That's really what it is. I want everyone to finally.
So you want to be famous?
No, I just want to be good at this thing.
Well, do you want to start a revolution?
I don't know. It's just like we complain so much and we don't know what we want.
I want to be
what I want.
A paid regular at the
What do you want?
For workers to be compensated for their labor fairly. Collective bargaining.
I can't say what I want because I wanted to be a door guy at the Sunset Strip Comedy Club, and that seemed like a pretty fucking accessible goal, and I couldn't even do that. So enough. It's like dreaming big for me is over.
That's not a reason to.
So when you were a little kid, you were like, I want to be opening doors.
Dude, doors. I was like
a door guy.
Dude, I can't get anything going. But no,
that's kind of your like.
My girlfriend. My girlfriend.
You
can. My girlfriend.
But you are talking like shit to you. You can.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but, I mean, just because you didn't get a door guy job.
You are an incredible writer. Yeah. I've heard you. But you don't do as many mics as you should.
Performer.
You should be hitting all the fucking mics that you can. You're fucking hilarious. I love your writing.
Yeah,
but you should talk to you.
Riley.
Riley's great too.
All right, I will. I will start doing that, Francisco.
What's up?
I will. Start on more.
Stop talking shit to yourself and fucking do what you're doing. You're writing, but now fucking present it to people instead of being like, oh, you're just gonna do one mic.
What are your favorites?
Sign up online and then.
Who do you think is working hard right now? Who do you think deserves it the most right now?
I don't think it's about deserving it. I think it's about earning it, like being funny.
Who do you think earned it?
You earned it.
Okay, not
you
me.
fucking earned it.
Thank you. But besides me, like in the scene right now,
I want to think of a good name.
Who's working the hardest?
I mean, one thing about stand-up is like, yeah, you could work very hard, but also you have to be funny.
Who's working hard in the right way?
Mikey Biggs.
Mikey Biggs.
I feel like Mikey Biggs is the dude that gets some due, but not nearly enough. And as far as working hard, he does that. As far as being hilarious, he does that. And also, I love him because he's just unique. I tell him this, like, my jokes have like a logic to them, so I often write jokes that I think have been written before. He says the weirdest shit ever.
He just says things that like sound or feel funny,
which is kind of like, he reminds me of Mitch Hedberg, not like that he's like Mitch Hedberg, but that whatever he's saying is like, oh, I've never heard anyone
he's not
speak
tied
like
to
this.
logic.
Yeah, and I love that because it's like you might swing and miss more with new bits like that, but when you hit one, it's yours and no one's ever.
I like that he seems like he's having fun, and he's very likable.
Yeah.
And also he's very funny.
Yeah.
I saw Mikey Beeks do a roast.
Oh, dude, he's so good. He crushed
and,
me in a roast.
And he's just like, he's very likable.
His
He's
delivery is
very funny.
I didn't realize how good his delivery was until in our roast. The biggest laugh was him saying, Paul Cyphers looks like a gay guy. And the crowd erupted. And it's like, he's just so.
He's like got the thousands of years of white supremacy just boiled down in just the humor part. He's like the fucking hippocampus of colonialism.
Him, Jag, and Miles are all very talented in their own rights, and I like them a lot. I wish I was better friends with them.
Well, I'm not saying
They're all very
like
funny.
I'm not saying like he's evil. I'm just saying like
No, I know. What you
through thousands of years of like leisure time, he's been able to craft his whiteness.
He's
into
very zen too.
a
Like he's
very
just
sharp
doing it.
Weapon.
Like he just does it. He doesn't like he's very much the antithesis of like what I'm struggling with sometimes. He's just like, I don't know, man, just keep doing it. He told me that one time. He's like, I hope you don't quit because you're funny, but you seem like a dude that would quit. He said that to me. And I was like, yeah.
Well, it's either you're gonna
That
quit
shit hurts.
or you're not gonna quit.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna torture yourself so much if you quit that you don't quit. So it's like either way, it's gonna be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I feel like with stand up, because you're not necessarily, you don't have a boss every day. If you don't do it one day, you quit for that day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Robbie Schrader. Robbie, do you have any questions for the three of us? We're gonna answer any questions starting now. Ricky Brown asks, Francisco, do you enjoy the whole Austin comedy scene, or are you more a fan of the leisure and fun of just not working and just like, would you rather just not do anything and just relax?
You're not reading anything. You're making this question up in your brain.
So I became an engineer, and I hated my job. But
we all hated your job.
I know, but stand up, it brings a lot of joy, and it makes me very happy. And I've never done anything that brings so much excitement in my life.
Yeah,
I can see the problem solving. I mean, this is like probably dorky to say, but you being an engineer, now you say that, because I see your eyes working when you're thinking about a bit, like off stage after you just did it or about to do it.
Whoa.
I see you're very much like a problem solver with your bits. Like you're like,
little conniving
how can I make
eyes.
this work? How can I make this land a little easier? Like you're always kinda,
calculating.
There's multiple parts to like some of your longer, like darker shit. And it's like you put stuff in the right place to make it work. Like over time, I always see that, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I love the Austin scene, but yeah, I haven't really been in a lot of other scenes. I've been in Houston, that's where I started, and before that I did my first mics in Shanghai.
It's fucking cool to think that like this is on par
Shanghai.
I mean, I'm speaking from just like looking at it from the outside, but like New York, LA, Austin, I just feel like it's pick your, you know what I mean? I feel like they all have pros and cons.
Pick them. They're the same thing.
They're large, and like I know it's cool to just think like if I'm getting ahead a little bit here, I'm getting ahead a little bit in like one of the biggest.
We're all
comedy
getting
scenes.
ahead everywhere.
In the biggest comedy scene, you know what I mean?
Does your girlfriend give good head?
Oh, she gives the best head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know is the best head?
I have had a lot of head.
Mm-hmm.
This ranks among the best.
Does that mean you come faster, or you?
I come fast every time.
Enjoy it more.
I come.
Oscar Wessel asks, Francisco, did your family have enough electricity to see your Kill Tony set?
They did not. Also, they did see it eventually, but they don't speak any English.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my mom I was doing a TED Talk for engineers.
Did they wonder how someone? I'm not gonna.
Because they're very disappointed. They think
like,
I'm
why
gonna.
is there a band behind you?
They're thinking I'm gonna quit being an engineer, and I'm just gonna be a homeless dude, you know. But yeah, they didn't have electricity.
Do you have like a pressure from your family at all? Like from
Yeah, I mean, I'm old enough where I can do what I want, but
Yeah.
my parents wanted me to be an engineer, and that's why I
More
became
like a
one.
fungineer.
Because my parents are
Yeah.
dumb like me. They're just like, my boy's in show business. Like if I ever fucking did like a theater, their minds would explode. Because me doing a fucking brewery in Massachusetts in front of 80 people is like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's actually cool to have parents that like. My dad always sends me clips of Joan Rivers. His favorite comic is Joan Rivers,
Yeah.
and it's just very funny. Facebook, I wake up every morning to another Joan Rivers clip I haven't seen before.
Very funny. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
you have to fake laugh. All right,
I can
you
tell.
invite me to your
I'm
podcast.
trying to imagine I'm watching Joan Rivers with your dad.
Dude, you would you'd fuck with my dad so much. Like, it's so funny when my dad comes to a comedy show because he just like he doesn't speak up that much, but he'll say one little thing, and then it's just I've seen him tortured by I don't know. He's just a really right wing guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell.
Sorry,
I can
didn't
tell
go
my
anywhere.
parents like, "Hey, I'm doing this crazy comedy show," and they're like, "Oh yeah, but when are you gonna get a job as an engineer? Have you been interviewing? Are you gonna prepare for your interview? You said you had an
Yeah.
interview tomorrow at 2
Because
p.m."
for them, it's like survival.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you need to think about your family and your kids, and I had to tell my mom, which sounded kind of mean. I was like, Mom, what if I told you that I was never gonna be an engineer again, and also I wasn't gonna get married, and also I wasn't gonna have any kids? And
All
for
the
her, it
most
was a lot.
important things in life for her.
What?
All the most important things in life for her.
I know, and for her, it was like pretty hard. And then I'm like, oh, I'm joking. I'm gonna have a kid one day.
Yeah, well, kids.
What
can
kind of stuff
happen
did
by
you
accident?
engineer?
Mechanical engineering.
What is like what? Like, give me an example.
Like if this cup, you need to select the proper material, and you design.
You're gonna want something that doesn't degrade over time.
So did you mostly do cups, or were you more?
No, I'm
like,
just trying to do like a simple example.
What were you working with?
I'm a
then?
retard, so he has to speak
I was
to me on my
working
level.
with power products, medium and high voltage, and
So like
electrical motors.
chainsaws and leaf blowers.
No, like transformers, anything you would see in a substation, or like when
like
you're
Optimus Prime.
when you're driving, you look at the power lines, everything you see in the power lines,
Yeah.
that kind of things, and electrical motors and generators. So very fun stuff.
So you were like, what material do we need to make the substation? And you'd be like, oh, we need wood.
It's a lot like playing Settlers of Catan.
No, it's like, oh look, the motor is gonna be going at this speed, so it's gonna get very hot. So you're gonna need this type of metal, so the heat transfer, blah blah blah. A lot of boring shit.
So you were doing. Why didn't they already have that all mapped out? They're like, okay, we know what material we need for substations.
No,
You're fired.
because it's that's just one example. But sometimes, like if you have like if you're shale and you're pumping oil from the ground
Into the Gulf of Mexico.
yeah, so like every
Oh,
project,
no, that was BP.
every project is different, and every application is different, so you need to evaluate what type of
We're building a substation in Alaska. We need more.
yeah, so in that case
Faggots.
it's in that, yeah, right, so in that case the weather is going to be way cooler.
We could power the world on
Yes,
faggots.
But
if
you
we
need to
wanted
keep your oil from freezing, so you need a
Yes.
certain type of. So all of this
Insulated.
is very boring, and that's why I don't like to do it.
Insulated oil.
Yeah.
So you did oil too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what do you want to say? One swear word and then let's end the show.
I don't know.
I think
This door keeps opening.
This house is haunted.
I want to say, thank you
Thank you.
for being you.
Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
That's fun. Guttural noises.
All right, what are we doing tonight?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys.
I'm sorry.
For what?
I brought the team down.
When did you grab the cup and put it there? How long has it been since you did that?
I don't know why.
Because that's how long the delay is.
I don't know.